Class 12th Bio CBSE. Same lesson, that is the human reproduction. In continuation of the class, today we have to study after oogenesis, we have to study about the spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis. By name, it is very much clear. What is spermatogenesis? Spermatogenesis is the process of formation of a sperm. How the sperm is formed? In the previous class, we already know how the ova is formed by the process of oogenesis. So this is the process which is performed in the male body. This process occurs inside the male body, and the place where the sperm is formed, as you know now, it is formed in the seminiferous tubule. Seminiferous tubules, it consists the germinal epithelium. It is considered a section of the seminiferous tubule in which germinal epithelium is present. Out of all these germinal epithelium, only one cell is able to move for the further process, and which cell which is performing in the previous in the next process, that is called the germ cell. So let us suppose this is a germ cell. As in the oogenesis, the whole process is concluded in 3 steps. First is the multiplication phase. Multiplication phase. Second is the, as in the oogenesis, it is the growth phase. Growth phase. And third is the maturation phase. Maturation phase. And it is very much clear with the name only, multiplication. Multiplication means the increase of the number of the cell. And what type of the cell division is responsible for increase the number of the cell? That is simply, it is the mitosis division. By the mitosis division, this germ cell increase the number of the cell. Germ cell, the nature of the germ cell, it is diploid. It is 2n in nature. What happened? Because of the mitosis, the process which is going on here is the mitosis. Because of the mitosis, the multiplication of cells is going on, and that is as number of cells get increases. Number of cells, from one cell, the 2 cells are formed. From 2 cells, now more divided up to form 4 cells. 1 to 2, 2 to 4. And this is called the multiplication phase. Multiplication phase. So what happened in multiplication phase? Because of the mitosis division, the number of cells get increases. Okay, what happened in the multiplication phase? In the process of spermatogenesis, what is spermatogenesis? The simple definition of spermatogenesis is the formation of a sperm is called spermatogenesis. And how the sperms are formed? It is formed in the seminiferous tubule of the testis of the male part. And what is present in the seminiferous tubule? In seminiferous tubule, in seminiferous tubules, the germ cell of germinal epithelium, start dividing mitotically to increase number of cells. And this stage is called, this phase is called multiplication phase. Multiplication phase. That is the first phase in the process of spermatogenesis. So what happened? The germ cell of the germinal epithelial start dividing and the number of cell increases. And for increasing the cell, the process that is going on is called the mitosis, cell division. And this phase is called the multiplication phase. What happened after this multiplication phase? The cell which is divided, only one cell is going on for the further process. So what about the rest of the cell? The cell which is present here, it is called stem cell. Stem cell. Let us suppose this one cell is going on the further process, and what is the next stage? That is called the growth phase. What is the next stage? That is called the growth phase. Now what is the role of the stem cell? The stem cell is called, this stem cell is also called type A spermatogonia. Type A spermatogonia. And which cell? The cell which is going in the further process, which is participated in further process, that is called the type B spermatogonia. Okay, so what happened next? This cell, this type B spermatogonia going to participate in the further stage. But what is the role of a stem cell? The stem cell, it means it form more and more cell. It increases the number of the cell. Stem cells divide continuously to increase the number of cells. The number of cells. Okay, that is the role of the stem cell. Now what happened for the type B spermatogonia? This type B spermatogonia goes for the growth phase. This reaches to the growth phase. The second phase, growth phase. Now what happened in the growth phase? This is the first one. This is the second one. Growth, it means only enlargement of the cell. What happened in the growth cell? Growth cell means the size of the cell is increases. That is called the enlargement of the cell. And for enlargement, where the cell get the nutrient? All the nutrients are provided by the germinal epithelium. So this is the growth phase. What happened in the growth phase? The size of the cell get increases. This is in the growth phase. Okay. The next is the in growth phase. In growth phase, enlargement of cell occurs. Germinal epithelium provides nutrients for it. Okay, now what happened after the growth phase? The cell is going for next stage, that is called the maturation phase. So from here the maturation phase started. What happened in the maturation phase? In maturation phase, the division process gets changed. So here in the multiplication phase, the division is called the mitosis. But here the division is actually the reduction division. What is reduction division? Reduction, up to here the number of my chromosome is deployed here. But from here the division is called the meiosis, and this meiosis, and this was the meiosis first. And what happened after the result of the meiosis first? As the result of the meiosis first, two cells are formed. And these cells get half number of the chromosome. That it means it is the haploid cell. Two haploid cells are formed. Okay, this two haploid cells actually called, this two haploid cell is called the secondary spermatocyte. This is called secondary spermatocyte. If this is the secondary spermatocyte, then which is the primary spermatocyte? This is called the primary spermatocyte. As a result of meiosis 1, two cells are formed which are haploid, and this is because of the meiosis 1 is the reduction division. So this 2n gets converted into single n, means diploid cell gets converted into the haploid cell. After the meiosis 1, meiosis 2 occur. What happened due to the meiosis 2? The number of cells, the number of daughter cells is formed. What happened here? Here the division is called the meiosis 2. And we know that meiosis 2 is the equational division as the mitosis. Meiosis 2 is the equational division. So, number of cells get increases. The 4 daughter cells are formed, and all the daughter cells have n number of chromosomes. All these are haploid in nature. And this is called spermatids. This is called spermatids. Okay, now what happened after the growth phase? After growth phase, maturation phase is started. Maturation phase is started. And what happened in the maturation phase? In maturation phase, the meiosis division is there, and meiosis division is a reduction division. Because the meiosis is a reduction division, the number of chromosome gets half, and that half number of chromosome make the cell haploid. Previously, the cell was a diploid cell, but now the cell gets haploid in nature. So what happened in the maturation phase? What happened in the maturation phase? In the maturation phase, the meiosis 1 is going on, and because of the meiosis 1, the 2 daughter cells are formed, and these daughter cells have the haploid number of chromosomes. This is called the secondary spermatocyte. This is the primary spermatocyte. This is secondary spermatocyte. In secondary spermatocytes, meiosis 2 is occur, and due to meiosis 2, again the 4 haploid daughter cells are formed, and that daughter cells are called spermatids. So what happened in the maturation phase? In maturation phase, due to meiosis 1 primary spermatocyte converted in haploid daughter cells. Further, in meiosis 2, and this is okay now, this haploid daughter cells called secondary spermatocyte. Now due to meiosis 2 in secondary spermatocyte, 4 daughter cells are formed. 4 daughter haploid cells are formed, or haploid daughter cells are formed. And these are called spermatids. Must remember, spermatids are not the sperm. Till now, sperm is not formed. Spermatids are not a sperm, but this is the formation of spermatid. In further, this spermatid is get converted into a sperm. What is a spermatid? These are the circular, non-motile cell. Spermatids are circular, non-motile cells. And we know that sperms are the motile in nature. So this spermatids get converted into sperm. So next step is the conversion of the spermatids into motile sperm. The conversion of spermatid into motile in sperm. Conversion of spermatids into motile sperm. Now 4 spermatids are formed. That spermatids get converted into 1, 2, 3 and 4. In course of time, further development, it gets converted into sperm. Sperms having tail, the prominent tail is present in sperm, and so they are motile in nature. These are the sperm. Sperm. This is spermatids. Spermatids. Sperms are motile in nature. Motile in nature. They have ability to move, ability to travel from one place to another place. So that is this process. The process of formation of sperm is called the sperm. This process of the conversion of the spermatid into the sperm is called spermiogenesis. Okay. This process is called spermiogenesis. Spermiogenesis. In the complete process of spermatogenesis, the 3 important steps are there. One is called the spermatogenesis, that is the formation of spermatids, and the second step is called the spermiogenesis. Spermiogenesis is an important step because it is a formation, not only the formation of a sperm. Actually this sperm is embedded in the seminiferous tubule itself. The seminiferous Sertoli cells which is present in the seminiferous tubule, these sperms are actually embedded inside the Sertoli cell. We are going to make a diagram of the enlarged section of seminiferous tubule. This is one enlarged section of seminiferous tubule. Must remember, this whole process is going out inside the seminiferous tubule. Inside the seminiferous tubule, we are going to study the section of the seminiferous tubule. This is the different germ cells are there. These are the different germ cells are there. The germ cell in the Sertoli cell is present in between these. Just suppose this is the Sertoli cells, and all the other cells are present around this. This is the Sertoli cell. This is one section of the seminiferous tubule, and this is the Sertoli cells. Actually, Sertoli cells are the place where the sperm is embedded towards the head. It is embedded inside the Sertoli cell only. What is here? This is the germ cell. Germ cell get converted into primary spermatocyte. This is the germ cells. Germinal epithelial is there. Germ cell get converted into primary spermatocyte. I'm going to label it further. Okay, this is primary spermatocyte. Okay, that is formed as the result of the growth phase. The primary spermatocytes are formed. Then this primary spermatocyte get converted into the spermatids. It gets converted into spermatids. These are the spermatids. Okay, what happened in the spermatids? Spermatid get develop and form. The spermatid is a secondary spermatocyte in the spermatid. Okay, this is the primary spermatocyte. Then we must make one diagram of the secondary spermatocyte also. Okay, I made it again. I'm going to rub this also. Okay. Now this is the germ cell. Now what happened after this germ cell? The primary spermatocyte is formed. Primary spermatocyte. This primary spermatocyte, the Sertoli cell is present here. Any place? This is the Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells. This primary spermatocytes get developed into secondary spermatocyte. Secondary spermatocytes. This secondary spermatocyte form the spermatids. What is formed here? That is the spermatids. All the cells are here only. And this spermatid get converted into sperm. This is the Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells. Okay. Now what happened with this sperm? This sperms is embedded inside the Sertoli cells. These sperms are embedded inside the Sertoli cell. This is spermatids. This is the sperms. Sperms are embedded towards the head. From their head side, it is embedded inside the Sertoli cells. So what happened when the conversion, the spermatid gets converted into sperm, and that sperm embedded inside the Sertoli cell. And this process, when this sperm is released out after the maturation is going on, and it's released out from Sertoli cell. One is called the whatever the process we have to study it is first spermatogenesis. You know that what is the spermatogenesis? It is a process of formation of sperm, and it reaches up to the formation of spermatids. What happened in spermatogenesis? Spermatids are formed. Okay, this spermatids, the formation, this spermatid, the spermatid that is formed is called the this process is called the spermiogenesis. This process is called the spermiogenesis. What is the form? As a result of this spermiogenesis, sperms are formed. As a result of spermatogenesis, spermatids are formed. As a result of spermiogenesis, the sperms are formed, and these sperms are embedded in Sertoli cells. These sperms are embedded in Sertoli cell towards the head. Okay, embedded in Sertoli cells from their heads. When this sperm gets mature, the Sertoli cell releases this sperm. When this sperm gets mature, the Sertoli cell start releasing the sperm, and this process of releasing of sperm is called spermation. This process of releasing of sperm from the Sertoli cell, that is called the spermation. So 3 steps are there. What is spermation? The process of releasing of sperm cells, sperms, that is the sperm only, sperms from Sertoli cells after maturation. Up to maturation, the sperm rest there only in the Sertoli cell. When the sperm get mature, the Sertoli cell releases the sperm. It means in this whole process we have to study about the spermatogenesis, spermiogenesis, and the third is called the spermiation. So what happened? In the germ cell, which is present in the germinal epithelial of the seminiferous tubule, it get in the multiplication phase due to mitosis division, the number of cells get increases, and this one cell get for the growth phase. Growth phase means the enlargement of the cell, and due to the enlargement of the cell get mature, and it is going for the maturation phase. In maturation phase, the two meiosis division is going on. Meiosis 1, which is the reductional division, meiosis 2, which is the equational division. As a result of that, 4 spermatids are formed. This 4 spermatids get converted into a sperm, and the formation of this the 4 spermatids or the sperm is called the spermiogenesis. The first step is the spermatogenesis, second is the spermiogenesis. The sperm which is formed here are the motile natures. The cells are there, but these motile sperm embedded inside the Sertoli cell of the seminiferous tubule. When this sperm get mature, the Sertoli cell releases this sperm, and this process of releasing of the sperm is called the spermiation. This is whole process of the spermatogenesis.